the man, he's the myth, he's the legend, he's the scientist with all the questions and all the answers. It's time for another episode of Alex's Science Corner.
Thank you. I like how you paused there as if you didn't believe what you were saying.
Thank you. All right, Alex, what's going on in the wide world of science? How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Excellent.
All right.
Good to hear.
First story is about some let me try that again in English. Archaeologists have started to figure out what the microbe was that caused one of the worst epidemics in human history. And back in 1500, the Spanish came into South America. And soon after that, the native populations, the Aztecs, started to die off. And it was
Wasn't
because
that
of
smallpox?
No, it was not smallpox.
What was it?
That's what they discovered, and this is what the archaeologists found.
Okay.
At first, by reading the symptoms, they thought it was a hemorrhagic fever like Ebola. But after going in and examining skeletons and drilling into the teeth and seeing what kind of bacteria is still around, they found that it was salmonella. Salmonella is a disease, and that came from
Food poisoning.
Europe, right? But it was
Wow,
a
I didn't
disease that
realize
came
that.
from Europe, and the Spanish brought it over. Now, there's a lot of diseases that the Europeans brought over, but this is the one that seems to have caused most of the deaths from the epidemics. And of course, the epidemic also hit just as the Aztecs were having a famine. So not only were they suffering because of the famine, they are now getting sick, and they are being attacked by the salmonella so badly that it's causing symptoms that Europeans don't remember seeing before. That's why when they were going through and trying to research this, they couldn't pin it down initially, because the symptoms that the Aztecs were having did not match what the symptoms Europeans would see for salmonella.
Oh, okay.
And so, like I said, they dug into it, and again, and they suspect it killed several million people in the
Wow.
Americas. Because again, it was a disease that the American populations, the Native American populations, had never had to deal with before, and it spread very quickly. Because once it started to get into the food and water supplies, is
there any way to get it out of there once it's in?
No, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have salmonella on us right now. We're just the little tiny bit of salmonella we have.
built up an immunity to it.
A resistance to it.
Okay, that's.
We are not immune to it. It's just if you get enough of it.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, they figure right now that the best cause of what killed off most of the American, Indian, and South American Aztec population was salmonella. Next story is about the flu, and researchers have determined that the flu spreads much easier than they thought it did before.
Great.
Yeah. I know, not so. Yeah,
So it's not just a question of washing your hands. all
It's
the
not
time?
just.
I thought it was airborne anyways.
It is airborne, but people thought it was like if you sneeze, it's in the little droplets of water of your sneeze.
Yeah.
Well, they find that it can spread just by breathing. You don't even have to sneeze. You just have to breathe near somebody.
Who
and
has
the water. If the person who has it, when they breathe, it's in the water.
There's moisture
vapor.
in the in the
And
breath.
that is more than enough for the virus to be in that and for people to catch it from the.
So during flu season, you got to move way up into the sticks of Maine.
No. You have to do is it China
Stay
where they
on
wear
your
the
property
face
and-
masks?
It's
You get the medical masks. And
Yeah.
You just,
Why don't you wear that to work? See how that goes.
I will. I'll try that.
Hi, I'm Bobby. I'm new here. I don't want to catch your disease.
Well, we're all in cubicles anyway. Nobody comes near me. So.
well, that's kind of protective right there.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right. Anything
I'm
else?
not going to rob this place or anything.
So that's interesting. How did they discover that? Real quick. before
Well,
you go
what
off
they
of this.
did is they put people into an instrument, and you'll see it on the YouTube video when I post that up. But it's a box with a cone over a person's head. And what it is the person breathes out into this cone, and they're measuring the virus that they're catching through their breath. So you don't even have to sneeze or anything like that to
You just have to breathe.
You just have to breathe, and that's
the picture
enough
in
to.
my mind is just so funny. I'm sorry.
Well,
So
I
just
know it's
don't-
serious.
here's the picture in real life.
So, Bobby, just don't leave your house during flu season.
Yeah, and
right.
again,
See you in the spring.
a cold, you're going to feel it for about 2, maybe 3 days, and you're going to be uncomfortable and feel bad. Flu, it's going to be at least a week. And
I had it a few years ago, and I was shocked. I was laid out solid 4 days.
Yeah.
Solid. I could not get out of it.
yeah, I pushed myself to get out of bed, and I was in bed for 2 days of that. And the rest of the time, I was in such pain. It's tough. And unfortunately, it is also very dangerous because people do die from it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now what are the recommendations again, real quick, for getting
Stay
the flu
holed up
shot?
in your house.
No.
Never leave.
Who are the people that they recommend? There's certain
Everybody
age
should
groups.
get it. If you
Well,
are
old
allergic
people
to
and young
eggs,
children, especially.
yeah, especially older people and young children. And this season's virus is a little more virulent for older people too.
Okay, but isn't there, if you've
So,
got
Bobby,
certain health
definitely
issues,
get yourself down there.
certain health issues that you should?
Said the old person on the other end of that microphone.
Who's oldest in this room?
Not me. Not me. I'm 27.
I'm sorry, Bobby. I
I'm
interrupted.
27.
Yes, you keep saying that for years now. So you're at
They
least
just
30.
posted a picture of a 27-year-old woman in California that died.
Yeah, I
because
mean,
of the flu,
this
so.
flu is so it can kill healthy people, no
Yes.
doubt about it. If you're not careful.
So
Yeah.
you really think?
Well, it goes to pneumonia and then the blood poisoning, right? The blood infection.
Yeah, and again, you're weakened, so if something else hits you at the same time,
right. That's what usually
Yeah.
does.
So it's not a typical flu then if you're getting pneumonia, or does the flu always
Well,
cause pneumonia?
not always, but that's like the severe case of it. If it goes bad enough, then it goes into pneumonia. Because it is a respiratory illness. And so it gives you have trouble breathing. And so people who have trouble breathing, that's where you've got the problems that come in from that.
Okay.
So, again, for people out there, I know the shot is not as effective this year as it has been previous years, but it is better than not having the shot. And if you don't get sick, you're not going to get other people sick. So, get the shot to help protect yourself.
And if you're
protect
sick,
the people
stay
around you.
home.
Right.
Okay, stay home.
Yes.
Stay home.
Now, of course, that also means for people who have, jobs that they don't get
They're in
paid if they don't
contact-
show up.
Yeah,
It's tough,
yeah,
but
yeah. But it's also, it's really important for people who are in contact with the public. that
Yeah.
They,
That's right.
yeah, well, I mean,
your bank
especially,
tellers and your,
I hate to say
your
this, but food service
people.
worker, yeah. And that was actually one of the problems with, there was one company that told its employees to stay home, but they didn't offer medical
Coverage.
insurance.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
If you have any questions about these science or anything else science related, please give Alex a call right now at 203
837
99.
24.